Hello, everybody, and we're delighted to be doing an interview with the leaders at Yorkshire Sculpture Park. Many of you will have seen the Yorkshire Sculpture Park before. It's a wonderful place. It's a great opportunity to get outdoors and see some of these great sculptures. So let me start by asking the two leaders to introduce themselves. So Helen, do you want to go first?
Yeah, so I'm Helen Featherstone. I'm a Deputy Director at the Yorkshire Sculpture Park, and I've worked here for 3 years, but I've worked and managed different arts and cultural organisations before. So I've worked in the arts sector for almost 25 years now.
You don't look old enough, but okay, we'll believe that. And Kirsty, how about yourself?
Oh yeah, hi, I'm Kirsty Young. I'm head of marketing and PR at YSP. So I've always been drawn to culture and creativity. My mum was an art teacher. I spent my youth going to listen to live music and really wanted to be a painter for a while, but changed my mind and decided to commit to promoting and supporting the work of artists and arts organisations instead. So I've worked in the cultural sector for many years as well, mainly in production and marketing and communications. And yeah, now I'm head of marketing PR at YSP.
Brilliant. And so I think it'd be worth just helping our listeners understand a little bit about the history of the park and how it became, the great centre it is today. Helen, do you want to take us through a bit of the history?
Yeah, I mean, it certainly has got history, the sculpture park. So there was actually records of something being on this site since the Domesday Book. So it's a very, very old site. And in the kind of 17 and 1800s, it was the pleasure grounds of the Wentworth family and the Beaumont family at Bretton Hall here. And so if you're interested in history, there's an awful lot that you can find out. Then it was taken over by the War Office in the war, and then it was bought by what now is Leeds University, but it was Bretton College, which did basically taught art teachers. There was performing arts here and music, and it was Bretton College for many years. And many people come back and go, "Oh, I used to come to college here," and reminisce and have reunions. And then Peter Murray, who was then working at Bretton College in 1977, thought it would be a wonderful idea to really help people to interact with 3D in the open air. And so he started the sculpture park in the grounds of the college, and with a grant of £1,000 from the Arts Council. And that grew and grew and grew. And so over the past 45 years, he's managed to reunite the estate, so it's almost the same as it was back in the 1700s, and it's now a 500-acre historic landscape with 6 outdoor galleries and around about 100 sculptures in the open air for people to connect with and enjoy.
That's fantastic, and leads into the next question really, which is, so what's the purpose and mission of the park itself?
So now it's really about, and the vision from the beginning has been about bringing world-class art to Yorkshire. So we're one of the biggest sculpture parks in the world and the biggest in Europe. As well as bringing the best to Yorkshire, it's about enabling as many people as possible from as wide a range of backgrounds as possible to be able to see that. And either on their doorstep, or people do travel here from across the country and even abroad. So that's what we're about, really.
That's fantastic. And that, as I think about the park is more than just a collection of inspiring sculpture. And by the way, they are truly inspirational. So anybody who's not been there, I'd encourage you to go there because it's a great day out. Kirsty, can you tell us what the park's about more than just inspiring sculptures?
Yeah, so you're right, there are an awful lot of sculptures outside in the open air. So we do have between 80 and 100 at any one time, and they kind of change quite regularly. So like, for example, in the autumn, we'll generally have a turnover of like new sculptures coming in. But in addition to that, we have 6 indoor galleries, as Helen mentioned, with a programme of exhibitions, temporary exhibitions, which change quite regularly. We also have lots of different buildings with cafes and a restaurant at the Western, which also has a gallery and shop. We also have a really brilliant shop in our visitor centre, which is an award-winning shop. Lots of events, a huge program all year round. So yeah, there's loads going on all the time. And if there's a bad weather day, there's always somewhere that you can hide indoors.
That's brilliant. And as you think about the park, Helen, you've been there for some time now. What sort of surprised you most about the park, and what's your favourite aspect about the park itself?
I think what surprises me, and actually last Friday was a great example, is you always go, you can find bits that you've never been to before, and you think you've been everywhere, but you never have. And so it's a great place to keep exploring and to keep having different journeys and to really connect with nature as well. So one of the most surprising things when I started here is that we've got Britain's largest heronry. So kind of they'll be starting nesting soon actually, and the cacophony of the herons when they start nesting is really, really loud. So not only do we have fantastic art to come and look at, but if you're into nature, we've got bird hides, we've got great wildlife on the lakes. We've got 2 big lakes, and we have some wild trails for children to follow. We do activities in a place called the Hidden Forest. And we've got a wonderful new installation this last year called Silence, which is about really engaging people with nature and kind of having that mindful moment and just absorbing the nature around you. So it is a wonderful place full of things to find, whether that's art, nature, walking. Yeah, there's all sorts to discover.
And that's great. And I think during the time of the pandemic, people have started to really reconnect with nature. And I suspect during that time, it's been a great sanctuary, moment of escape for families and so on. But I know it's also a place for learning. So Kirsty, can you tell us what you provide in terms of accessing learning and how people can learn at the site as well?
Yeah, so we have a really extensive learning program. It's really diverse as well, and there's lots of different entry points for like different levels, different age groups, and it's a mix of kind of drop-in, bookable events, artist-led craft workshops, for example, sculpture building workshops, nature walks and tours. And we also have a formal learning program for schools and colleges, and provide extensive notes for teachers, for example, to use so that they can use them in their lesson plans. And the best way for people to find out more about that is to sign up to our newsletter. So we have a dedicated newsletter for teachers and also family newsletters. So if that's kind of what you're interested in, then I'd suggest doing that definitely.
Yeah, and maybe we should just share some of the links as we publish on social media. We'll get that information out. And I know it's a great place just for a day out with the family, right? I've done that many times myself. But I'm super excited about this collaboration between Rangoli Radio and the Yorkshire Sculpture Park. And maybe, Kirsty, you can tell us a bit more about what we can expect and what's the plans here.
Yeah, well, likewise, we're really excited to be working and collaborating with you as well, and really looking forward to welcoming some of your presenters to YSP later this month to talk about mental health and well-being in the context of the Yorkshire Sculpture Park. And connecting with art and nature. And also following that, we've got our first big exhibition opening on the 12th of March, and we really hope that you'll be able to attend that. And then another great programme this summer called the Summer of Love, which is starting on the summer solstice in June. So yeah, we're really looking forward to welcoming you to YSP and seeing what we can do together.
Yeah, and the presenters across the whole of the team here are super excited, especially with the mental health. We know mental health is a topic that's not often discussed amongst the Asian community, and we want to use part of the radio station to promote that. So the work that Megha does is through her Pranam Anand Gisafar, which is a program which focuses very much on mental health and well-being. She's done some fantastic interviews there. But yeah, we'd love to come on site. We look forward to the collaboration. Helen, Kirsty, thank you for taking time today. We hope the listeners really find this useful. And look out for some more information on how we're collaborating with this wonderful space that we've got in the region. Thank you.